As a creative person, I think it's very important to understand why you're doing something. You know, what's the engine that mobilizes you into action? Tailoring was very significant for me because my father was a teacher, I always wore handmade suits, and my mother had handmade suits made for me as a kid. So I had this particular relationship with that. The fabrics that I used to use right at the beginning were very English fabrics. So a lot of tweeds, corduroys, moleskins, velvets. There was a real exclusivity in the way I used color in the early days. As I developed as a designer and I got more of the discipline and the use of color, then it moved out into the shirts and then into ties and eventually actually into the textile. I think I just want to demonstrate where I am today, and I'll chart the journey of all that period of time more in the styling and the way I select my models. There's many, many different uses of cloth. So I love different textures. So you'll see a huge range of use of texture. And in autumn, winter, there's always a lot more opportunity to do that. So I've got my leathers and I've got my suedes and you've got the cashmeres and there's lovely fabrics that hold shape and form, so help accentuate the silhouette. But when you move in the spring, summer, usually you don't have the same use of cloths. So what I've done is I've tried to find a formula of fabric that interprets that same level of texture and variety. So what you can do now is you can get really lightweight cottons, but have a sort of wool look to them. And so there's a real nice development in textiles that allows you much more flexibility in the sense of touch and feel. I've got my documentary film that's been finished, it's been filmed over 12 years. The name of the movie is called A Man's Story. So when do you first become a man? We think we're men when we're 18, 19 years old. And then the older you get, the more childlike you become. I'm more a kid now than I was when I was 19. The show I wanted to make would have a film-like experience. So I decided to do it at cinema. Bear in mind, it's a fashion show, but it's also a celebration. Hence, that's why I've gone for 100 models. Plus, we're also going to show 4 minutes of the film, which I'm incredibly nervous about. Savile Row. Menswear is an incredibly commercial business. And there's not as many brands in menswear as there is in women's. So when you actually look at the balance, menswear probably has a bit of an edge on women's. So from a commercial sense, it makes a lot of sense to be more supportive. Also, the UK, I would say, is a very strong men's market. I mean, all the big name designers have strong retail bases here in the UK. So there's kind of like a real misinterpretation and understanding of opportunity of the market. So I've been a bit of a campaigner for men's clothing here, and campaigner for men's tailoring globally. But this is the first time where I can actually say, right, I'm actually part of the structure. And the doors opened for me to be a part of that.